Hey y'all, look what I just bought. Just kidding. Well, we got some updates here on our 10-acre property. We talked to an excavator, not this excavator. We talked to a guy who does excavations. His name is Mike, and he's gonna help us get started with our first phase of our project. We're gonna build a driveway, and I'll show you a little walkthrough of how we're gonna do it, including some culverts and some cutting and some filling. Let's get started. So this excavator is going to be used to help dig out the creek and tear down some unwanted trees to be able to put in our culvert with a plastic pipe. And I'm sure he's going to be doing some other stuff with it. And this here is a scraper, a pole scraper, because it's one that you tow. And he's going to use this to cut some of the dirt and move it without having to push it along. This picks it up, carries it, and just basically scrapes it to another spot. It's being towed by my wife just sneezed. Let's try that again. And this is what's towing it. It's just a giant tractor with tires that are taller than my head. So, wonderful beast. Well, I had to stop by one more time. There's been a couple more developments. First, Mike brought this, which is a bulldozer that's gonna help along with the scraper to get all the dirt where it needs to be. One other development was our friendly neighbor came over and mowed all this for us. And then the other development is this. County came by and marked the center line, if the CL is, for where our driveway will go. So there's the marker there. The other one's over there. So this is where they wanted the center line of our apron to be. And that'll help us figure out exactly where the driveway will start. All right, so here's where it's gonna start, the driveway coming from the road. The road is right over here. And the driveway is gonna be a little bit of an angle. It's not gonna be perfectly perpendicular with the road. It's gonna swoop in this way, around this pole, and that's actually where our property line is gonna start. So it'll be about there somewhere, swoop in this way, and kind of head toward the tractor there. So this part of the driveway will have to be cut to make it a little easier of a transition. And there will more than likely have to be some sort of drain system or culvert put in right here. All right, so follow me to the next little spot over there. We'll take a look at what the driveway is gonna do. All right, so the driveway coming just a little bit to the left of that pole will kind of cut across here a little bit at an angle. And as you come here, you can see that it dips down a lot. Basically a little miniature valley. A swag, as it was referred to by the guy we talked to. So in there, and you can see the pipes, we're gonna have to put one of those pipes for a proper drainage culvert. Because after we make this more or less drivable, leveled out, the water that normally flows through has to keep flowing through, otherwise you're gonna have a disaster. So that's what those plastic pipes are for. These things are huge. Hello! These are the pipes. These are plastic corrugated culvert pipes. It's 48 inches in diameter. It's huge. You could live in this thing. It's also 20 feet long, 20-foot sections. So there'll be 3 places that you need to go. Here, by the creek, and up there. Well, a little one's going up there. I think there'll need to be 2 of these put by the creek. Well, while I was telling you about the pipe, I actually got a call from Mike the excavator. That thing over there. And he said that he was working on getting the permission from the county and the water department and making sure that there's no pipes or electrical lines underground by the road where he's gonna have to cut that little mound in order to get the driveway a little better transition. So he was just telling me about that, and that'll actually make us a little bit easier to get this done sooner. This entire low section, that if you look from left to right, there's a lot that needs to be filled in here to make it more or less level. It'll still have a little bit of a dip, but we need to make it easy to drive over. Right now it wouldn't be, especially if there were snow or ice. So he's gonna cut the hills and fill in here after he puts this in place and puts dirt around it. So let's keep moving. All right, so we just walked from that swag over there. The road, the driveway, will pretty much come straight up out of that. You don't want to go too much of an angle through that because that would be even more dirt that you have to fill in there. So after it goes over the crest there, it's going to come more or less straight right towards that clearing over there. And that clearing kind of marks the corner of our property. Another thing to note, I actually got a hold of a neighbor I haven't met yet on the other side, the one that owns the cows. This entire property, at one point it was all in his family, and he's slowly been selling it off. Nice person and very generous. He said he would be able to help us with bush hogging some of this while we're still figuring out what we're going to do with it. So that's very nice of him. All right, so we came from over there on the crest. The driveway, after it gets over that, it's going to curve a little bit this way to my right. And as it swoops in here, then it's going to go more of a straight angle down to the creek. This is sort of a gradual hill here, so some of this might be cut, but most of it will be okay. And down there is where the real work is going to be. One of the culverts will be in there. So let's go down there. All right, so after we come down from the hill a little bit, here is the creek. It's actually fairly substantial, but it's dry most of the time. One of those 4-foot pipes will actually fit right down in here, but we're gonna have to cover it with a lot of the earth that we move from both the hills. And you can see that after it gently comes down, it then is more severe when it goes back up if you look that way. So this is where a big amount of work has to be done. All these little trees have to come out, and it's not going to be a perfectly straight driveway directly over this. It's going to kind of curve a little bit as it comes down to this, and then it's going to kind of go more straight up. So now let's go on up here and look at where it's going to end. And after we come up out of the creek, the driveway will come through here somewhere. He's going to cut some of these trees, and he's actually going to cut into the ground here, so it's going to be a little more gradual other than a straight cliff right there. And then we'll probably bring the driveway out maybe 20-30 feet just to be able to get access to this. And we won't know where we're going to really put a driveway to its final destination, so it'll just kind of come out a little ways for vehicles to be able to get onto the flat area up there. You can see our neighbor over there bush hogging the grass for us. Just saw him through the trees and had to make our way over here, and we went over there and said hello. He's doing a great job. All right, and that's it for now. We'll let you know what's gonna happen next, and I'll keep you updated. I'll get some more video and photo of the excavation and try to include that. So we'll see you in the next video.